everyone, I'm back. I know I said my first rule is going to be to keep a steady schedule, but of course, life happens, so yeah, I haven't made a video in a while, so we're going to try again. Well, I'm going to try again, and hopefully it sticks. So if you can't tell from the books, this first new video is going to be about why I love Anne Rice. So, I started reading Ready to Enter with a View with the Vampire. I guess it was a few years ago. That was the first one I read because I think that's the first one everyone reads for her, but it just makes the most sense. And I actually didn't, unlike most people, I didn't like Lestat to begin with. And my favorite character from Interview with the Vampire is by far Louis. It's not even close. I love Louis. But after I read The Vampire Lestat, I liked Lestat a lot more. I liked the direction she took him in. And of course, you have the movies. I actually do like the movies. It's terrible acting and all that kind of stuff, but they're so good. I just like them, especially Queen of the Damned, because of it's got like the whole rock vibe to it. Jonathan Davis, who's my favorite lead singer of Korn, is one of my favorite bands, second favorite band, and I listen to him all the time. And he does all the singing voices for Lestat, so that's really cool. And it's really eerie and creepy. And I have the soundtrack. I listen to it all the time. It's just such a good soundtrack and idea for a movie that I don't even care about the rest. So I do absolutely love that. But yeah, so these are some of my more favorite. Of course, I already mentioned I love Pandora. She's probably my favorite character in the series. This is just a copy of the Interview with the Vampire that I really love. It shows the plantation that they have in New Orleans where him and Louis hang out. And then of course you got the new one. I haven't read it yet. I'm actually a couple behind for the series, but I always buy it. I got it for Christmas because my mom knows I like it, so it's nice to already have it. But yeah, what I love most about Anne Rice is, I mean, of course you have like the writing style and all that stuff I really enjoy. I think it's fluid and seeps you into the world well enough, but of course not too much. But I like vampires and demons and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's interesting, but I mean, anyone can write about that stuff. What I like about her most is the how she goes into what it means to be immortal. I feel like something, of course, we don't think about because we're mortals. But yeah, it's just the struggle of having, they all go through, and it's all different. And some of them they go crazy and they want to live wild and they want to kill everything and do this and do that, and then some can't handle the idea with being around forever, and that's, I don't know, I think that's really, really interesting. They all go through. Pandora has that same problem. She had her love with Marius, and then she just wanders the earth now. Lestat went underground. I believe they all do that before he found Yet. And I don't know, it's just really cool to think about. It's like, anytime you ever ask me what would your superpower be, it would be to be immortal. But there's a lot that goes into being the idea of living forever, that through, like, people can't adjust through the different decades, through the different generations. Imagine trying to adjust through different civilizations. Like, it's really, really crazy, an idea. And I think she just does, like, every character goes through it. Louis goes through it. Like, there's just, of course, Lestat goes through it, and you talk about Marius and Pandora. All of them go through it. I love how they all go through it, and it all feels different. And she does such a good job, in my opinion, of encompassing what all of the different elements of what it would be like to be immortal. And then, of course, so Anne Rice is kind of known as weird. So it's a lot of erotica. She has her erotica, but there's like a lot of erotic in the books. Not really my thing, but I really don't pay attention to it, and I still love them. But usually that's what people assume the reason I like it is because it has all that, when really I like it for all the reasons I just said before. I mean, I read, of course I don't like skip over the parts, but I don't know, it's never been my thing in a book, like sex and everything. But that's what she's known for. Well, not known for, but that's a big aspect of it. But yeah, but I mean, vampires, you can't really escape that. And on that same kind of idea of like, you can definitely see the influence she has from like Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, with the whole idea of men giving life and how they have such a problem. They want to do it because they can't. It's the one thing they can't do, and then they do it and they're like, "Oh crap, this is terrible." A lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Shout out to women, of course. But yeah, you see All of them, all the men, vampires, whenever they make a new vampire, first they struggle whether they should do it or not. And then when they do it, they reject them, they try to kill them. There's just so many different things. And there's like this weird tension between the maker and the new vampire. I can't remember what they call them, but the maker and their youngling, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know, it's like really an aggressively love-hate relationship. They just don't know how to, because they have to teach them all the new ways. It's like very much like, you know, having a baby and grow and helping them as they grow and teaching them the ways and stuff. And they just really can't. Most of them don't handle it very well. And it usually turns, and you can see the path. Like one vampire will turn another, and then he'll be a bad maker, and that one won't know what to do, so he turns another vampire, and he teaches him bad stuff or doesn't teach him anything, and it's really, really hard. You can see there's different aspects throughout the books where just newborn vampires don't know what to do. All they know is that they have to eat, but other than that, they just don't know how to cope with all their new powers and everything that goes with being a vampire. And you can see how important parenting is, essentially. And of course, we can relate that to actual life. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many deep elements in Anne Rice's books, and that's what I really love, especially the vampire series. But there's also other series I haven't gotten into. Well, I've read The Witching Hour, which I liked. It's actually the only book I've listened to on audio tape before. I'm not a big fan of audio tape, but I had a long trip, so I listened to it. It was really good. But yeah, then you have the Wolf series. Yeah. Then the mummy one with her husband. And then you have like the religious ones. That's another big aspect of it, because she was an atheist through so many of the books, and then she found herself again. That I don't like getting into because it's just sad. But I mean, she can do whatever she wants. I don't care about that. As long as she's a good person and writes amazing novels, she can do whatever she wants in her life, of course. So that doesn't bother me. But it would be interesting to really delve into it and see the difference. I mean, I'm sure, off the top of my head, I could just think of, because I know early on, there's not a lot of course there's no God. And there's a lot of that. And then, Lestat travels all the different realms of the world. So yeah, it gets pretty, I'm pretty sure that corresponds with her switch in beliefs. But anyway, that's pretty much why I love Anne Rice, and you should too. If you haven't read a book, start with Interview with the Vampire. It's the best place to start. You'll love it, and if you do, go on from there. There's so many. She's been writing since, I think, the 70s, so you got tons of books to read. But it's really just fun, and let me know in the comments below which is your favorite Anne Rice book, or just your favorite vampire books. I'm looking for more, actually, because I love this so much. I just got the Discovery of Witches. I'll have to look up the author's name. I can't remember. I just got it, so I'm going to read that too, because it's it deals with immortals and stuff like that as well. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to keep on schedule this time and make more videos. Thank you for everyone that watched the first ones, and thanks. Talk to you next time. Bye.